Hey guys, this is just a location guide for all treasures and the relic in Uncharted 3. So the first two actually are in this bar fight after you finish knocking them all out, next to the jukebox and behind the bar here. Okay, so this is in chapter 2 in the flashback scene. This is as soon as you start, you just want to head up here. And it's just sitting inside this cannon. And then you want to continue forward, head up here towards the right, and it'll be sitting behind a pot plant. Still in chapter 2, when you get thrown out of the museum, you'll just come up this alley, and what you want to do is go to the right next to the wall and pick up this. Then just around the corner you want to continue on, and instead of going straight where Sully went, what you want to do is go left, or go right, sorry, and pick this up here. And then turn this way, and then you turn left instead of going straight. Then you head up there, you can just see those little stairs sticking out, that's where you want to go. And there it is. Okay, so this is a little later in chapter 2. What you want to do is when you're just up here watching Sully, you just want to head to the top left corner here, and you can see it just flashing there. And then still in chapter 2, when you get to this area where you have to climb down the sign, instead of climbing down, what you want to do is jump on it and then climb up, and the treasure will just be sitting there.
Who's your friend?
Okay, so this is in chapter 3. When you get to this area, you have to swing to get on top of the roof here, but what you want to do is when you get on top of the roof, you just want to slide down. I actually just landed on the bottom bit, so that's what you want to do. You want to get to this area and then run all the way across. Now this is when you get inside the museum. You can see these two treasures right here, but what you want to make sure you don't do is run up to the display case and press triangle to trigger the cutscene. But there are the two treasures. Okay, so this is in chapter 4, pretty much at the start. You'll jump over this post here, and you just want to turn right, and the treasure will be right here. Still in chapter 4. You'll get to the area where you have to enter the warehouse, and you'll jump on this pole. You'll have to, but what you want to do is drop down to the right and then shimmy all the way to the right and then get up here, and it'll just be sitting there. Once you get to the floor of that same warehouse, you'll see this big stack of boxes, and what you want to do is climb to the top and pick up the treasure. This is in the generator room when you kill a couple of guards, and you'll just come to the right of the two generators and pick it up there. So this is pretty recognizable, just the big cylinder that you climb down. What you want to do is instead of going left there, you want to climb up this pole and then jump to the left and come up here, and it'll just be sitting there. This is the Strange Relic. In the same cylinder, once you continue on, you'll come to this part, and instead of going down, you want to jump across to the left. And then you'll head down a little bit, and then it'll be just sitting there. This is when you have to open the drawbridge to get past that. What you want to do is climb up this wall. You should be able to see where it is pretty easily in this one. Okay, so this is chapter 5. After you take out the two guys, you just want to climb up this wall here, next to the lion head and the elephant head, and it'll just be sitting up here. On your way out, when you're leaving, you would go through that hole in the wall, but what you want to quickly do is run up these stairs and run around this entire room, and then the treasure will just be sitting underneath a table up here. Or a display case, I should say. Okay, so in the train station, You'll head this way. This is pretty recognizable, this area. You'll find a lot of enemies, but what we're going to do is look up here, shoot that down, and then jump up on the train and grab it. Okay, so this is at the North Atwood subway station. You just want to turn left when you get to the end of this train car. There will be a lot of enemies in here, so be careful. Okay, so this is chapter 6. You'll eventually come to this stream. I give you a pretty good look around here. But once you see this stream, you'll want to turn right and follow it all the way down. This is pretty much at the start of chapter 6. Okay, later in chapter 6, you'll come to this area. And you'll have to head this way, but instead of going down the right path, you want to go up the left path and then jump over this wall. And the treasure will be right here. Later on in chapter 6, you'll come to this area where you have to go up inside that hole, but you just want to keep shimmying to the left and then jump up. And the treasure will just be in here. Okay, so just after that, or a little bit later on from that treasure, you'll come to this area, pretty recognizable, and it'll just be sitting there. In the room with the puzzle, you'll just go to this little side room, which is actually the entrance. You want to shoot it down from up there, and then just pick it up here. Now we're still in chapter 6, and once you fall down this hole, you'll be right there, and you just want to go to this little area here. In chapter 6, where you do the grenade tutorial, you want to jump down and then immediately turn left. That's where you would go, but then you turn left, and it's just here. After finding Sully, you'll come to this area. It's pretty recognizable. You'll bust down those doors, and then you'll climb up this, and then you'll just need to take a right and then climb up that wall, then shimmy across here, then balance across the beam, and the treasure will be sitting right there. Okay, so the last one in chapter 6 is in this laboratory. It's pretty recognizable. You'll have to come here, and it'll just be sitting up there. Okay, so the one and only treasure in chapter 7 is when you've slanted this piece of wood. You'll just have to jump backwards towards this way, and it'll just be sitting here. Okay, so this is at chapter 8, pretty much at the start. You'll come to this area, and you'll just want to jump over the side here, and then kind of drop down and move right. It's a bit weird with the controls, but you can manage. It's not too bad, and it's just here. It's actually in the ledge above me, but I grabbed it from there. Okay, so still in chapter 8. This will be a little bit later on. Again, this place is pretty recognizable. Just shoot that and go and pick it up. After shooting the first lock off the door, you'll turn right and pick that up off the statue. Still in chapter 8, you'll go down a well, fight some enemies, and then once you come up, you'll go this way. Still in chapter 8, once Sully shoots the lock off your door, you'll want to turn around after you exit it and look up and shoot it down.
This place is crawling with agents. Chloe and Cutter could be in real.
This is in the large tower with all 4 of you. Before you head up the stairs in this large tower, you'll just want to go to the left of the stairs, and the treasure will just be sitting here. Last one in chapter 8. This is in the main big area. After you've blown a hole in this wall, or Sully will do it, you'll just turn right in it and then pick up the treasure. So this is chapter 9. When you get to the big globe, just head over to the left, and it will just be sitting at a 90-degree angle from the globe. Okay, so after the spider part, you'll fill up this bit of water, and what you'll have to do is jump in the water first. You gotta get in here first, otherwise you'll miss it, and you shoot it while you're below it, and pick it up as it falls. If you miss it, you can reload the checkpoint. This is still in chapter 9. This is when you're in the tomb. It will just be sitting right here as soon as you get in. Okay, so in chapter 10, right at the start, you'll get down these stairs and just turn left and it will just be sitting here. Again, in this area, pretty recognizable. You'll just want to take a right, and in the fountain right here, you'll just see it flashing over in the corner here. Still in chapter 10, and after the man opens the gate for you, you'll go through here, up the stairs, and it'll just be sitting next to one of these cacti, I should say. When you cut through the hotel, you'll come to this area. You'll need to go up here, but instead of going that way, what you want to do is double back around, and it'll just be sitting here. After the fight in the food market or the fish market, you'll come out those gates, and you'll just come to this area here, and it'll just be sitting in the corner before you head down the stairs. But then you can continue on heading down the stairs, and the next one will just be sitting right here. And then one more in this area, just from where you picked up that, you want to climb up these boxes and jump across the gap and pick that up. Okay, so now in chapter 11, when you go down the well, you want to climb down this, but instead of dropping, you want to go along this concrete wall and just go all the way around it, and you can pick up the treasure on the other side. Still in chapter 9, you'll come to this area. Pretty easy, just turn left when you enter it. Okay, so here you want to make the decision to go left first. If you go right first, just skip ahead in the video but then come back. But I chose to go left first, and that will lead you to this room. And when you go to this room, you'll want to double back around here and then come here. Okay, so this room is the room on the right. So what you want to do first is head down the stairs and just pick up the treasure right here. The next one is pretty missable. What you want to do is pull this staff out. I just skipped ahead there, bad edit, I apologise for that, but you just want to pull this staff out and aim the light up at the ceiling to the right here, and you will make a treasure fall down when the bats release it, and you just want to head over there and pick it up.
Okay, so that didn't work either.
Okay, so when you get out of the well, instead of going that way towards Sully and Elena, you will just want to turn right. This little market area has 3 treasures. And it's just very important that you don't go near Elena or Sully, because you could trigger the next area. So just kind of follow the pattern or playthrough I go. But they're all pretty easy to find, all out in the open. Somewhat out in the open. But again, especially with this one, you want to stick all the way to the left so you don't trigger the next cutscene. Okay, so this is with the chase with Talbot. You'll come to this area and you just want to turn right after you've lost him, and then just jump over these boxes and the treasure will be there. In chapter 12, after you've taken the first guys out, you'll want to turn around and climb up this ladder, and the treasure will just be sitting over this side over here. After you've climbed out, you'll bust through that door, and you'll come to this area, and instead of going left like you have to, turn right and you'll find the treasure. Okay, so this is the area with a big gunfight, very recognizable because you'll be here for a while, especially if you're playing on a harder difficulty. But you'll come to this area just to the right of where you entered, and you will want to swim through this hole and then climb up these beams. And you want to double back and jump across here. still in the same chapter, instead of heading up those stairs there, you'll want to jump across here, or shimmy across, whatever. Then you want to jump from each beam to this one here, and you'll want to pick up the treasure there. Okay, so this is much later on in that chapter. You'll come to the highest point on this ship, and instead of swinging on this rope, what you want to do is come to a halt and climb up it. And the treasure will just be sitting inside to your left. Okay, once you double back around and jump up from the rope, you'll come to this platform, and instead of going inside, you'll want to drop down here and just climb all the way down here and pick up the treasure that's just sitting here. After the cutscene up here, instead of taking the zip line down, and definitely don't do that, just turn to the right and there'll be a treasure right here. Okay, so for chapter 13, in this area where you first come in, you'll fight a lot of guys, but I've already taken them out. You can just follow the path to where these 3 treasures are. So that one's kind of all the way over to the right of the start area. This next one that I'm coming to, is you'll want to find this red crane, and then next to that red crane you'll just come over to this yellow container, which you'll see now, and go inside it, and there'll be a treasure. So the last treasure for this area, or for this chapter I should say, is just double back over here, and you'll want to just come towards this boat, but instead of going near that drawbridge, you'll just want to go over to this dock area. Okay, so this is right at the start of chapter 14, when you first climb aboard the ship. Instead of going up those stairs, you'll just want to look to your left, and the treasure will be right there, under some chairs. Instead of jumping on that escape boat, what you want to do is just, life raft I should say, is just go past it and then turn to the left.
Crap, it's blocked.
In the area where you fight the heavily armored guy, and like after you've tumbled down that massive steel framework, you should be able to recognize this place. You'll climb up the yellow box here and just head right for a little secret area. When you get to the pool on the boat, just after the last place, you'll just want to head up the left way, and it'll just be here. In the ballroom, same chapter as the last one, eventually you'll get through it, and these doors will open, and you'll want to head over to this area, and just head right instead of left, and it will be sitting there. Now from this area, you want to head the proper way, which is this way. And you'll run all the way down to the end instead of heading into the door that's open with the bright light. Instead, you'll just want to go right past that. There is an enemy here. I just took him out, so he wouldn't be a problem. And here's the treasure. So after that, you'll enter this area where there are a few enemies. I've already cleared them out, so just be careful. And you'll just come here, and behind this little bar, you'll pick that up. Now when you're heading down these stairs, very recognizable, instead of turning right to go through the door, you just want to double back around and check under the stairs. So the last one for this chapter is from that staircase. You will just want to head through the door and go this way, and instead of jumping down like you're supposed to continue, you'll just want to head left and pick up the treasure here. Okay, so this is in chapter 15, and the only treasure here, when you're climbing up these bedrooms vertically, you'll just want to jump into this bathroom here instead of continuing, and you'll pick it up. So this is in chapter 16. The first treasure will be on these boxes that you'll have to jump over, but instead of jumping right over, you'll just want to jump up the top and pick it up. Now, after helping Elena through by shooting the locks off, you can double back around to this area, and it will just be sitting there. After you've pushed the car through the gate, you'll want to come up here and jump through this window. After that, you'll just want to immediately turn left and go past this car, and the treasure will just be sitting on the floor here. There are no treasures in chapter 17, so don't worry about that, but there's only one in chapter 18, which is when you come to this well. You want to shoot that vase and pick it up. In chapter 19, before you enter the city, you'll just turn left of the big doors. Later, after you fall through the floor, you'll just want to double back around or just look to your right and pick that up. Again, after that collapses, you'll just want to go through this way and double back around, and it'll just be sitting next to this pillar. After the enemies shoot the floor from under you, you'll just want to take him out, but after you do that, you want to pick up the treasure right here. As you're climbing out of that area, you'll come up these stairs, and what you want to do is head left and head over to this area here, where there is a secret gun, but also a treasure. Still in the same chapter, after you fight all these enemies in this area, pretty big fight here, you should be able to recognize it. Instead of continuing through this way, what you'll want to do is climb up here and jump down here. After squeezing through a tight fit, you'll see these arches, but instead of heading through there, you'll want to turn right and just pick up the treasure there. Last one in chapter 19, when you shoot the the roof down on that car, you'll want to head over to this area, and the treasure will just be right there. Okay, so chapter 20, you'll get to these big doors, which is where you enter, and as soon as you enter, you'll just want to look to your left and pick up the treasure. Right after that last one, you'll come to these big doors, and you'll want to climb up this ladder, which is to the right when you're facing it. And you'll just want to roll down here. We'll just fall down onto this ledge and pick up the treasure. Okay, so this is the exact same place I started off in last time. You'll just want to climb up this ladder. And then jump onto this chandelier and shimmy around to the left. Or right, of course. Okay, so in chapter 21, right at the start, you'll come to this big city, and instead of continuing to the right down these stairs, you'll want to head left to the dead end to pick up the treasure. And from this area, you will want to go back up and head down the right way, which is this way. But instead of heading all the way down the stairs, you'll come to this gap, and you'll just want to jump across here, and there'll be a treasure in there. Okay, so after you verse the flamehead dudes, you'll be down here, and you'll just want to take a right from where you first landed, and you can pretty much just tell where this is from the video. After you've pretty much tripped balls and seen a lot of spiders, you'll come to this place, and you just want to turn around, and it'll just be sitting right here in the sand. When you wake up in this pool area, you'll just want to climb out of the pool, just head here, and it'll just be on the left side of the room, behind the statue. Okay, so right at the start of chapter 22, you'll just want to double back around behind the stairs, and it'll just be there. And the last treasure, I accidentally picked this one up without recording it. My mistake, I apologise, but this is a pretty recognisable place. You'll just come to this area. You're supposed to go up those stairs, but you'll just want to come to this area here and pick up the treasure. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.